So by now you know that I've decided to take up solo hiking and camping, but you don't know why. And here is the short version. I have been struggling a lot with anxiety and depression over the past year, as I imagine have, many of you, because it's not been easy with the lockdowns and everyone's plans getting completely derailed. And throughout the past year, the one comfort, the one solace that I found was walking. I would go on these long 6-7 hour walks to different parts of London. It was helping me scratch an itch, but it wasn't quite the thing I needed. I felt like I really needed some kind of a challenge. Long story short, I ended up buying a tent and deciding that this was something I was gonna try. I'm not entirely sure how we got here, but I am ordering a tent. And here it is, £70. Proceed to checkout. Okay. And now I've got a tent. After the tent arrived, it took me about 2 months to actually trial it for the first time, because I got back inside my own head telling myself that that probably wasn't something that I could do. Oh, it's raining again. But then 2 days ago, I finally decided, you know what, now is my time, and I tried the tent out in my garden. It's really windy today. Okay, the tent is up. I managed to semi-stake it in because we've got gaps in between our tiles, and now I'm gonna kit out the inside. Okay, here we go. Good morning. I have done it. I managed an entire night here in the tent. It was a little bit patchy in terms of sleep because there are foxes screaming out in the garden, and also my yoga mat is so thin, so I was just lying on stones and it wasn't super comfortable, but I loved it. I'm definitely gonna do this again. And so I sat down on my laptop and I started doing research. I was thinking, where could I go? Maybe in the summer, maybe in 2 months' time. And after I did a bit of research, I thought, well, why wait? Because what am I really waiting for here? And so I made the decision to go hiking today, because ironically, today was gonna be the last day when it wasn't gonna rain for about 2 weeks. But here we are. Got my tent and everything in here. Got my waterproofs. What's the worst that could happen? Bye, Tom. Any final words?
See you tomorrow.
Well, maybe. Let's see. So of course the first thing that happened the second I left Guildford station is that it started raining. Okay, I've done my Tesco shop. I got a triple sandwich and some other snacks for the journey. Guildford is looking quite nice, and it's sunny again, so fingers crossed. All right, so I've decided to have a picnic before I start the trail because I haven't had breakfast yet and I don't want to start on an empty stomach. It's raining again. Okay, I think we're on the right path. We're gonna cross over that footbridge and go left. So one of the main reasons why I've been struggling with anxiety is that suddenly it feels like I'm not in control of my life. It feels like so many of the decisions I want to make depend on something or someone else. For example, with the pandemic, that one's pretty obvious. I can't plan. I can't make big life decisions about traveling because it's currently not possible. And hiking and navigating through the wilderness and relying on myself for my own survival is, I guess, a natural pushback against that, right? It's me wanting to reclaim that power. what's my camera doing here? It's obviously not staged at all. Okay, so we've crossed the bridge and now we're going and connecting onto the North Downs Way. And I think this might be a slightly difficult route to navigate just because I'm flicking back in between different paths, but like I said, I've got this. So we're gonna be following these for a while. North Downs Way. Off we go. Okay, North Downs Way and Chantry Wood, which is our first pit stop. A quick word on Chantry Wood. We are currently in bluebell season and it looks like the entire forest is going to be carpeted in beautiful little violet flowers. I don't want to be whiny, but trekking uphill with 12 kilos on your back and in a waterproof jacket that makes you incredibly sweaty is not comfortable. Luckily, I don't think we've got too much longer to go. So that would be a no on the bluebells, but there is this stunning cathedral view right over here. I found the bluebells. They're all around me now. While we're on this entire mental health tangent, the bluebells are as good a metaphor as any for the sort of expectations that we create in life. And if there's one thing lockdown has taught me, and probably many of us, it's that those expectations aren't always good for us. Sometimes it's much better, / most times, it's much better to just roll with the punches, go with the flow. And then if you do find your metaphorical bluebell meadow, you'll be pleasantly surprised as opposed to being disappointed when you don't. It kind of worked. I want to teach you a new word that I learned, and that word is kissing gate. I didn't know that's what these were called. That's really cute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous about these clouds, and the birds seem really loud, and I feel like that's a sign. I'm not loving these uphill bits, but we're nearly there. I can see it. Yeah! There we go, St. Martha's Church. We're gonna be going there and there later. This stretch is incredible. A, the church behind me was lovely, but B, I'm walking on sand and there are pine trees all around me and I feel like I'm somewhere near a beach in Croatia or something like that. It's gorgeous and it's warm. The storm clouds seem to have gone away. Big fan. FYI guys, some sections you actually just climb over the fence. I wasn't sure at first, but I ran into some other hikers and they said, that's fine. So here we are. And another one. Oh. Look how narrow this bit is. I can barely fit in with my bag. Hi, Piggy. Imagine this being the pathway to your house. And imagine this being your house. If you have ever wondered why I spent the past 10 years in the UK, this is why. This entire walk is why. Such a beautiful country. If you are looking for a bit of a challenge and you live in London and you don't have a car, then this is such a great show because you take the train to Guildford and you can take the train back from Horsley, which is where I'm going to be spending the night. If you hear me breathing in the background, that's because that hill killed me a tiny bit. Another beautiful, beautiful sight. Public toilets. Oh, hello. How are we doing? Hey girls. Oh, hi, don't leave me. That was a nice little moment with my friends. And I should mention, for the first time in this entire walk, I have put in headphones. We're way past the halfway point now. I'm getting a tiny bit tired, and I thought, let's motivate myself with some words of wisdom. And by words of wisdom, I mean a really funny podcast called Off Menu by Ed Gamble and James Acaster. They're both stand-up comedians here in Britain. Very, very funny, and I love food. They love food. It just works. Who have we here? Look at you, beauty. So according to my guide, which by the way, massive shout out to Saturday Walkers Club, who provide these free of charge, and they are so incredibly thorough that I've not actually needed a map. I've just been following written instructions. They told me that right over there-ish, you can see London. You can see the Wembley Arch. Now, I don't have binoculars, so I'm trying to really use my imagination. Over there. We're briefly back on the road. This house behind me, by the way, so nice. But we're gonna turn off onto a bridleway very soon. But there's something I wanted to mention. I find it really sweet that all the hikers greet one another. I just didn't know that that was the trail etiquette. I'd seen it done before, but this was back in Czech Republic and Germany, which I thought was a cultural thing. It's not, and everyone's been greeting me, and I was so embarrassed because I'm never the first to greet anyone because I just didn't know that was the done thing. But now I'm just on the lookout for people so I can aggressively greet them to know that I'm a better person than they are. No, just to know that I'm a pro hiker. And here we are, Sheepleys. That's the thing we've been looking for. This is the last pit stop on our journey, and the next place we're going to be going to is actually Horsley, where I'm going to be camping. So let's soak up these last moments of our walk. And one thing I will say, I love the podcast that I mentioned, Off Menu, but it's much nicer when you're not listening to anything, when you're just listening to the little sounds of the forest. It sounds cheesy, but it really is much nicer. Like, you are so much more in tune with your surroundings, and you notice a lot more. You know how you shouldn't text and drive, well, you shouldn't vlog and walk, apparently. We're back to this house because I went wrong. I was supposed to go right here onto this public right-of-way. I think it's sorry, a fly flew into my mouth. I think it's very ironic how I was going off on an entire tangent about how I shouldn't listen to music in the wilderness and be one with nature, and then I got distracted and I went off the path. So there you go, make of that what you will. A small meaningless observation. Every second to third dog that I see seems to be a Cocker Spaniel or a Springer Spaniel. I'm not sure why. I don't know if you saw that, but literally as soon as I finished saying that, this man with 2 Spaniels walked past me. What are the chances? Well, the chances are high. Like I just told you, very high. Found another church. This one's called St. Mary's. Really beautiful and peaceful, aside from the road that we can hear over there. We're about to go across, and let me show you the church. We're nearly there. This last stretch is next to a road, but it's not a problem. We've had plenty of beautiful greenery today. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to pitching up my tent and sitting down. This pack is really pressing against my lower back. I'm about 10 minutes away from the campsite, and I have suddenly been hit by this wave of stroppiness. I'm in pain. I want to get there. I am suddenly like, the pack just feels so heavy. We've arrived. Let me check in. I don't want people to see me vlogging. Right, so you're probably wondering why I'm sat at Horsley train station. And honestly, the explanation is slightly mortifying, but we're all about honesty here, so we're all friends. As it turns out, the campsite that I was going to doesn't currently have functioning loos. So upon my arrival, I was asked to present my solution to this problem, which is a solution I did not have. I didn't have like a porta potty with me, and I was denied entry on the fear that I might to put it politely, in the woods. So I'm going home. Hi.
Why are you back?
I'm just gonna sit on the sofa and eat pizza. And thus went my first...
There was pizza.
I'm gonna sit and just think about my life. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first ever solo camping adventure.
Actually, so fast. Brilliant.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.